of the many types of Pokemon challenges, one of the more unique ones, and in my opinion, what looks to be more fun, are the randomizer metronome only Nuzlocke. So that's what I'm going to do. Here we are seeing our 3 starter choices: Unknown, Kabuto, and Ammonite. I go with Kabutops just because, one, I actually really like Kabutops, and it's also a fully evolved Pokemon, which can only help us in this run. So I decide I'm going to nickname these Pokemon after Taco Bell menu items because I'm craving some Taco Bell right at the start of recording this. So I decide to nickname the Kabutops our starter, my favorite item from Taco Bell, which is the Crunchwrap. So that is what we are starting off with, Crunchwrap the Kabutops. After doing that, we need to get through a couple of little story things. We got to go talk to our mom and all of that, and I'm just going to cut through there. And we are going to make our way through the first route here, and I don't think I have literally ever gone through an entire route like that without getting some kind of random encounter. But anyway, I decided just to see what kind of encounters can we get, and we can get a Togetic. I noticed also when I was just going through here, there's a Suicune that popped up one time, so there's some good potential members. And, you know, I'm sure it's not going to be, you know, bad that we easily took down our first Pokemon. You know, we're going to have an easy time of this run, I'm sure. But anyway, getting back into this, we take down a couple of more Pokemon, and then I decide to head north, where we are stopped before we can go and get our egg and Pokedex. But anyway, get through that and get the Apricorn bag that we are literally never once going to use in this playthrough, I'm pretty sure. Talk to Professor Oak, we get the egg, and we get the Pokedex. And with the only modifications I'm adding is where this is metronome only, it's going to be very difficult to catch Pokemon. So I do have Master Balls, and we get our first encounter here. I know some people like to start later, but I decided as soon as I get the Pokedex, I'm going to start. So with that, Quavla is going to join our team, and I decide to name it the Spicy Potato. Just because it is a fire type, and, you know, spicy potatoes are good. Anyway, from there, we get to battle our rival for the first time. His starter is Kakuna. Now, if this were, you know, a regular playthrough, this would be great. But we are going to use our metronome, and we get Screech first to lower its defense, which is nice. It would be great to, you know, have a physical move come out after that. It's going to hit us with a Sludge Bomb, which I pray does not poison. And thank God it didn't poison us. Crunchwrap is going to use another metronome here, and we are going to get some acupressure, which is going to up our evasiveness, which is great. Now we just need to, you know, get some damaging moves, and hopefully not explode. I'm sure that won't come up later. Kakuna uses Barrier to get its defense back to neutral, which, you know, I mean, hey, at least it's not a +2 defense. And this is a move I don't think I have literally ever seen until this, Frenzy Plant. I'm guessing this is some kind of signature move of a Pokemon. But, you know, it doesn't do anywhere near as much damage as I was hoping it would. Fissure, thankfully, misses. I know it's only a 30%, and it looks like we have to recharge from that. So, it looks like it's a Grass-type Hyper Beam situation. If you know what Pokemon learns that move naturally, let me know, because I don't know. If you can hear, my cat is wanting attention right now while we are using an extra sensory to hopefully take this Kakuna down. And yes, with that, our first major battle of this run-through went not too shabby at all. We were able to take down our rival, Passerby Boy, and now he is going to swiftly try to get away from us, but he's going to drop everything he owns, including his driver's license and probably social security card. But we are going to be able to name this guy later. He comes back. There is your trainer card that you dropped. Yes, I saw your name. And we can head on back to, on our way back to the lab, though, I remember that we can get a couple of encounters here. So I head up to get this Route 46 encounter. I'm very curious as to what it would be. I haven't even scouted out this area, so I don't know what could be here. And it is a Haunter. I absolutely love Haunter. Haunter is one of my favorite first-gen Pokemon. I wish it were a little bit stronger. I know Gengar is stronger than Haunter, but I always aesthetically liked Haunter more. But anyway, we capture the Haunter, and I decided to name it Spicy Patat, even because I couldn't put potato on there. And our next encounter is an Igglypuff, which I literally have no plans on using this thing whatsoever. So that's a wasted encounter. So I'm going to catch it, and it's going to get immediately boxed as soon as we can box something. So I decided to nickname our rival Subscribe, because if you've made it this far, you at least hopefully want to see more Pokemon content from me, so subscribe for more. Our next major battle is on our way north as we are trying to get to Violet City. This Kirlia is going to come in from Trainer Mikey. Shout out to NNJ TV. I know it's spelled differently, but anyway, this Kirlia is going to hit us with an embargo. Hit itself with an embargo. Oh no, we hit it with embargo. It's going to come out with a gust, and I forgot to go up and heal after this, so I am a little bit panicky. And I decide, you know what, just to help save Crunchwrap, let's go to Dorito Loco. Oh, I nicknamed it Dorito Loco. I forgot, I thought I named it Spicy Patat. No, that was something else I named Spicy Patat. So Dorito Loco, the Koavla. We use Trump Card, which is another move that I don't think I've ever seen before. So this Metronome getting me some new moves that I'm going to have to look up to see what they do. We get a Grudge. We want to put a Grudge on Kirlia, and I've used this move before, but I don't fully remember what it does. Anyway, Kirlia is going to try to absorb. It does literally 1 HP damage. We up our defense with Defense Curl. Uproar comes out, which is honestly I think a good move you can get in this because it's guaranteed to keep rolling over. We get it down into the red, and I just need one more damaging move. Come on, Dorito Loco, you can do it. We need to get out of this and go heal, because I really don't want to lose a Pokemon this early. I really want to at least make it to the first gym before we lose a Pokemon. And we get an Uproar of our own, which is great. So Kirlia goes down. We gain a little bit of experience. And we continue making an Uproar, so I decide to stay in so that we can keep getting that damage from Uproar. This Lantern is the next up, and its first thing is Doom Desire. Very menacing sounding name, but it does nothing. Mega Kick comes in. Thankfully we live it. I was a little bit worried when it happened in real time. We almost have this thing down in Icy Wind. We are a fire type, so we're going to resist that, but it does get a crit, so not ideal this early in the run. And oh, there's what Doom Desire did. And thankfully we lived it. Well, at this point, I'm not risking losing Dorito Loco, so we are going to switch into Spicy Patat. So Spicy Patat was what I nicknamed Haunter. I was wanting to nickname it something like Ghost Pepper themed because it's a ghost, but they don't currently have any of those items going on for a special promotion. Anyway, Lantern tucks in its head, probably getting ready for a Skull Bash, which I am absolutely fine with because it shouldn't hit us, but it is irrelevant because we get Surf and take down the Lantern. So now I can head back and heal my Pokemon before we get into any more battles because I really don't want to lose a Pokemon. Gain a level, and I start heading down, not paying attention, and immediately run into another trainer. So exactly what I did not want to do. Crunchwrap is still first in our party, so he is coming up first. We are up against a Scorpy, which I really like Drapion. I think that's what it's called, what it evolves into. It's been a while since I've played some 4th gen games. Anyway, it's going to immediately paralyze us, which is not great. It gets another move off, we lose some HP, get a rollout going, which I'm like, okay, this thing needs to go down quick before this rollout builds, and I guarantee lose. And thankfully Thunderfang came out and bailed us out. So we are going to gain another level. I'm starting to get worried about being over-leveled for the first gym, and just like in real life, I am not giving my name to anybody, my number to anybody. Anyway, we can get our next encounter in Dark Cave after healing up, and interesting fact, when I was a little trainer, I accidentally got stuck in Dark Cave because back then you didn't have the little circular thing that let you see what was around you, and I got stuck and I just restarted my game. Anyway, we capture this Blastoise, and we'll find out what I nicknamed it later. I find out that we also could have encountered a Deoxys here, which would have been great, but oh well. We make it to Violet City, I heal up, immediately head to the Pokemon gym because I really want to get that first badge and raise the level cap. But unfortunately, I forgot that we have to go to Sprout Tower first, which is unfortunate because I'm fairly certain we're going to be over-leveled. So our first fight here in Sprout Tower is going to be against Nico here. He's going to lead with the Monferno, and we are going to start off with our Spicy Patat Haunter. We're going to immediately come out and get a Stomp, which I think is great. I was hoping it would do a little bit more since we're more than double its level, but oh well. An Absorb only does 1 HP. We throw out a Hail, which is going to do chip damage to them at least, but it comes out with a Substitute, which I thought maybe a Substitute would have killed it. Maybe it's half of your current HP that it does, but anyway. It's going to go down in a couple of moves, no big deal. And our Blastoise is going to come out, which I nicknamed Fiesta Potato Tot, because I was still in the potato mood after the Haunter battle. I did go to Taco Bell after this, and interestingly enough, I didn't get any of the items that I nicknamed any of these Pokemon, so... Anyway, we have a Corphish out here facing our Fiesta Patat. A Comet Punch comes out, which... in my mind, I was like, wait a second, this hits twice? I messed it up with Mach Punch. It's Mach Punch that only hits once. But we don't have too much trouble, so that's going pretty great. I was not expecting to get basically a full level out of that, but anyway, last Pokemon for Nico here, Horsey comes out, a Psycho Boost, and then some failed moves. We get a Bite Off, a Roar is going to bring Spicy Patat back out, and we immediately hit it with a Shockwave to take it down. So... not that bad for the first fight here in the Sprout Tower, but I'm still worried about over-leveling some Pokemon. But here we get another encounter, which I was not expecting. I completely forgot there were wild Pokemon here. And it is a Dugong, which I'm going to nickname Taco. So we are going to add Taco the Dugong to the team. It's only at level 3, but I'll level it up a little bit here in just a second. And nothing much is going to happen with these two trainers here, so we are just going to walk on over and skip these fights, I think, because nothing really interesting happened during them. So, our rival up here is stealing something that he shouldn't, or talking about being nice, Pokemon. Anyway, screw this guy, he's mean. And we are going to get this escape rope, and we have one final battle we need to do, and then we can finally go challenge the gym leader. So this final test here is going to unlock, I think his name is Faulkner, the flying type gym leader. So we are going to get into this battle, and we are up against Elder Lee, who's going to start off with this Persian. I lead with Taco the Dugong, and as a theme has been going on in this first video here, I completely just forgot to heal, but thankfully, Taco heals for us, and Persian decides to use Aqua Ring, which sucks in these Metronome battles, because that means it's going to get healing every single turn. We get a Dizzy Punch off, which is amazing, and it confuses it, so I think, great, all we need is this thing to hit itself in confusion a time or two. And I kid you not, this thing went 4 moves in a row, did not hit itself in confusion once. I was so mad. It's going to confuse us. And of course, you know what's going to happen this first turn. It's not going to hit itself in confusion, and we are going to hit ourselves in confusion. On top of that, it's going to heal up a little bit more with that stupid Aqua Ring. And at this point, I'm worried about losing Taco, so I switch over into Fiesta Patat. It's going to hit us with a Drain Punch. All this thing is doing is just taking a little bit of damage, and then it's healing it right back up. Taking a little bit of damage and healing it right back up. I was so annoyed with this stupid Persian. And here we get our first boom of the run. We are going to lose our Blastoise. Thank God we take down the Persian, but unfortunately it came at the loss of our Fiesta Patat. So, next up I go into Spicy Patat, our Haunter, to go up against Dusclops. We have Ghost on Ghost action. First move, of course, I'm going to use a normal move, Swift, and it doesn't affect it. But the Dusclops is actually going to use conversion and turn into a normal type. So I'm like, okay, so now I just have to not get a ghost type move, and we're going to be fine. Silver Wind comes up. I hope it's going to do some good damage. And, oh yeah, there was a little bit of back and forth. I just cut to the Silver Wind. We take out the Dusclops. So now we are one Pokemon away. Spicy Patot is going to grow to the level cap, and I'm like, okay. And then I watch this, and I'm like, you can stop, and just like that, our Spicy Patot is now over-leveled. We cannot use this thing in the gym fight, but we can still use it in this fight. So I'm like, you know what? We're just going to leave our Haunter out there to take on this Luxray. So hopefully we can get through this thing kind of quick because it's at level 10. And this is our only level 10 Pokemon, so Icicle Spear, not a bad move. I'm thinking, okay, we could hit this thing a few times, get it down a little bit, good. Let's see what this Luxray gets off with its Metronome. Luxray is going to use Shadow Punch. So that is immediately taking out our Haunter for our second death of this run already. I go into Crunchwrap thinking that he's going to be our best chance to try to take this thing down. We get a nice Heat Wave, and I'm like, yes, that is great. We need to 2 more moves like that, and we are good. This Luxray, of course, though, is like, you know what? I don't like being at half health. I'm going to heal myself. So it gets a Moonlight, gets itself back up. And the next Metronome we are going to get is going to be a Dizzy Punch, which I'm thinking, please confuse this thing so it can hit itself in confusion. And we do not get the confusion, which is unlucky. And then it is going to Torment us, which at first I was a little worried about. Then I was like, wait a second. This means that we're going to have to struggle. So yeah, we're going to lose a little bit of HP. But if this Luxray can just get unlucky, it looks like it's going to take about 4 struggles to take it down. I think we can do it. But of course, it is immediately going to use Absorb, a 4 times super effective grass move on our rock water Pokemon, and take our Crunchwrap, our starter, my favorite food from Taco Bell, off of our menu. So I pivot over to Dorito Loco, thinking, okay, well, Dorito Loco is at least my second favorite item. And we still have a few Pokemon, no big deal. We can afford this, plus we'll get some more encounters here in a minute. This Barrage takes us down to under half health, which is unfortunate. We use Natural Gift, which does nothing for us. Great. Metronome coming back out, and Dark Void. Very ominously sounding move. But then we just go straight to sleep, and I'm like, great. I didn't even know what that move did. I think that's a Darkrai move, maybe. Or it might even be Giratina's. I can't remember. But this thing is, while we're asleep, going to Body Slam us and knock our Doritos Loco out. I switch over to Taco thinking, okay, well, if some miracle happens, hopefully at least Taco can do something. But we've seen how this Luxray has been playing. It might get one bad move, but it's been getting way more good moves. We get an Energy Ball off. I'm like, great, finally, at least a little bit of damage. Get this thing down a little bit more. And it does nothing hardly. And I'm like, oh my gosh, are we seriously about to wipe here? Brick Break is going to take out our Taco, and now we are down to our savior, the one Pokemon I said I'm not even going to bother wasting a nickname on, Igglybuff. Sorry. We are going to take this thing down with a level 4 Igglybuff. So that is my plan. Bubble Beam comes in, and I'm like, please live this and get a good move, Igglybuff, you can do it. And we get a Roost off, so I'm like, okay, good, you're fighting, you're giving yourself some health back. Alright, let's see what we can do. I think there's one more move here. So, Luxray is going to use Stone Edge, and with that, we are going to white out. So, that was my first attempt at a Metronome Nuzlocke in the Pokemon HeartGold. If you want to see more, consider giving me a subscription and check out some of my other content. But until then, have a great day. See ya.